Funny enough, this story gave me a Saturday morning Kids WB superhero cartoon vibe in a dimension where it was ran by Pornhub. The story begins with Denji and his pet devil chainsaw dog Puchita. You see, in the world of Chainsaw Man, devils roam the earth as physical, visible, well-known entities. Their individual power depends on the number of people who fear them, so it's like reverse world Norigami. Anyway, these devils can grant humans some of their power in exchange for a price. The price is always different and dependent on the specific devil. Now, Denji's working for the Yakuza despite being in his teens because his dad owed them a debt and killed himself before paying it off. And his mom died much earlier of a heart disease. So his life was horrendous from jump. But Denji does have Puchita, and he uses Puchita to kill devils and give their corpses to the Yakuza, which the Yakuza then sells to make a profit. But one day the Yakuza decides to cut out the middleman and directly make a contract with the devil. But their price was their free will because the devil turns them all into zombies. Both Denji and Puchita try to run away, but both get mortally wounded in the process. But at the last minute, Puchita makes a contract with Denji, becoming Denji's heart and giving Denji his power in exchange for Denji showing Puchita his dream. Denji then uses his new powers to massacre the zombies and later gets recruited by Makima, who is a devil hunter working for the government, thus starting his new life as a devil hunter. Now you may be wondering what Denji's dream is. Is it to obtain some grand item, or become the best in the world at something, or maybe even revenge? No. In the cruel devil-filled world that Denji lives in, Denji's dream is to just live a decent life, have a roof over his head, food, and maybe even a significant other. Super simple, super relatable, works perfectly well. While every other character is living in an action horror mystery, Denji is living in a slice of life drama, except for one other character who's living in the Bobo world, and I love it. The story does have some complexity to it, but it can completely be ignored. It's almost asking you to ignore it. One other obvious thing that I probably should still mention: this manga is filled to the brim and flowing over with gore and high sexual content, which isn't that surprising since Denji is trying his very best in every other chapter to get laid. But yeah, not for kids, most definitely not. Even though some of the pages seems that it was born from the mind of a 13-year-old boy. And the first thing that comes to mind when I say that is Denji in chainsaw mode riding a six-eyed shark demon through the sky while fighting a Russian lady with a nuke for a head being supported by a giant baby demon with its guts on the outside. I can't end without giving a shout out to the creativity that goes into the design of these devils. When you read enough manga and watch enough anime, you will start seeing designs repeat in a way, so I really appreciate the originality. It's amazingly horrifying, but amazing. Now the three most interesting characters are Denji, Aki, and Makima. In my opinion, it's not always a bad thing when the protagonist is not the most interesting character. It just goes to show how much effort is being put into all the other characters. Denji's concerns are the everyday concerns that we all have to some extent. He is completely uninterested in humanity's struggle against the devils. He kills devils because it's his job, and he does it with the same amount of enthusiasm as a worker at the DMV. Makima is surrounded by an alluring air of mystery. She's Denji's main love interest, but as the story goes on and she does more and more morally questionable things, she starts to give off a Lelouch vibe, and I can't wait to see what they're setting up for her. Aki starts out as the complete opposite of Denji. He's more of a traditional manga protagonist, lost to loved ones at an early age, wants revenge, trains to get his revenge, the whole 9 yards. But he has the best character arc in this whole story, and he seems as if he's going towards a similar destination as Denji in terms of ambition. For all that I've said, I want to add at least two, let's say, caveats. 1. This is a story where any character can just randomly die, and I don't even feel safe for Denji at this point. So even though I listed the 3 most interesting characters, there is a good chance that they might not make it to the end of this story. 2, this story isn't finished, and I'm not finishing where this story is. I only know about what happens between volumes 1 to 8. But regardless of what happens, it'll still be a fun ride. At the end of the day, Chainsaw Man is strategically simple and brutally fun.